Ba-da-ba-ba-doom-da-da, ba-da-ba-ba-doom-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-ba-doom-da-da. Yo, DJ, pump this party. Hey, guys, Adam Ray here. Yeah, that's right. I do my own intro theme music. Welcome back to the About Last Night podcast. Thanks for listening. Tour dates. Woo, I'm coming at you, baby. Atlanta, Georgia, next week. First, Augusta, Georgia on May 12th, and then Atlanta, Georgia at the Punchline, May 13th through the 15th. Come out and see me. Right after that, Lexington, Kentucky, May 19th through the 21st, and Denver, Comedy Works, May 26th through the 28th, and then San Diego, Mic Drop Comedy Club, June 3rd and 4th. All these tickets at AdamRayComedy.com. I'm so sorry North Carolina this weekend got moved to September. I'm shooting a TV show, but please get your tickets back and come out and see me in September. Again, that's Atlanta, May 13th through the 15th, Augusta, May 12th. Lexington, Kentucky, May 19th through the 21st. Denver, May 26th through the 28th. And San Diego, June 3rd and 4th. And then a bunch of other tour dates, July, August, September. All that at AdamRayComedy.com. Young Rock, watch it Tuesday nights, NBC, 8 p.m. Gaslit every Sunday on Stars. Pam and Tommy, if you haven't seen it, still on Hulu. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Adam Ray Comedy. And please check out my YouTube special I just dropped, Adam Ray Live at the San Fran Punchline in San Francisco, up on the YouTube channel. Go check it out. Give it a like, give it a comment, and comment below in this podcast with the moments that you liked, with what you liked, what you didn't like. Hopefully just the good stuff, because, hey, man, there's too much negativity out there. And please keep supporting the pod. Tell your friends, tell your family, hide your kids, hide your wife. And enjoy today's special About Last Night podcast with the star of How We Roll, CBS, 9:30, and on Paramount Plus the same night. He's got a great podcast, You Made It Weird. He's on the road. He's one of the best stand-up comics in the game. He had his own talk show, Crashing. He created and starred in for HBO, and now he's starring in How We Roll on CBS. It's the one and only Pete Holmes. Do you think Beau Bridges ever wanted to try to pitch the Bowback, which was a backpack for...
The Bowback! And then Jeff,
got in the way somehow.
Hung over and just goes, the Jeff Pack! And they're like, do it! It's like Jetpack, but it's a Jeff Pack! And Beau's like, ah!
Hey, it's Herbert! And you're listening to the About Last Night podcast, you slippery little son of a bitch.
About last night.
Do you want anything to drink? A water or a Celsius? A liquid death or a...
What is Celsius?
Energy drink?
No.
Liquid death?
That's just water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have one of those.
Sparkling or still?
Ooh, I'll do sparkling.
Ooh.
Sparkling death.
I ain't driving.
You want one?
Yes, please.
I'll have a sparkling death. I'd love a sparkling death. He wants still.
I'll take a still.
I answer for you.
You said that like I was just
He wants still.
below you.
No.
Sparkling water is a fancier... I mean, you tell me, if you go out to dinner and someone orders sparkling, do you go, okay?
That's hilarious. No, because I'm that person.
Yeah.
I sparkle. And I like going,
You do
when they
sparkle.
bring it to the table, they go, sparkling? And I go, clearly me. They pour it, and I'm like, yeah.
Come on, man.
But I don't booze it anymore. So,
That's right.
It is the ultimate drink. It's like, oh, that's too dark. I was going to say there's things that are lame, I guess, quote unquote lame. I don't think it's lame to be sober, but it's perceived as lame. And then you have your little concessions. You're like, but I'm drinking something that's fizzy.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, this guy parties. Also coffee.
You quit coffee too?
No. I just mean can I get a little there it is. A little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. What is this guy?
Trying to save your ears.
Yeah, no, you're very kind, Mo. That's perfect.
Is that your vocal warm-up?
Yeah, that was it. Now a little bit down, actually. Sorry,
Ooh.
Mosif.
It's okay.
Mosif.
Oh.
Nice. Fun nickname.
Oh, can you turn him down a little bit?
Check.
All
Check,
the way.
check,
If you
check,
could
check.
mute
Check.
Adam. No, I just mean people who stop drinking love anything. I'm speaking from general
Please.
experience. My own experience, but other people. They love coffee.
Yeah.
They love nicotine.
Yeah.
They love bubbly water. So we addicts, I consider myself an addict. I never went through a program, but like addicts are like looking for the sensation of being alive.
Yes.
So like just flat water. Get out of here, flat water. I want to feel something going
gotcha.
like, ah, like on the way down. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I wanted to be like, I'm alive.
Yes.
I'm not dead.
Yes.
And that like, I was just talking to him.
It's why Pepsi did crystal clear Pepsi for a bit, because they were like, people want an extra kick from something, and they missed the mark with that, but they were
did
just
miss
like,
the mark. I almost bought a can of Crystal Pepsi on eBay.
Go
which
on.
You can. You can buy unopened. Well, who knows? Maybe they put Sprite in it. They're not going to drink it. But you can buy.
it's for show.
Also, OK Soda.
Loved OK Soda.
Get the fuck out of here.
Loved
I can't
OK
believe
Soda.
You know OK Soda. I can't believe. No,
Okay.
No. We'll get to you loving it. But I can't believe you know it. It tasted like a suicide. Remember a suicide?
You loving it.
Was
There's a
every
big problem
flavor.
with you enjoying the taste of it. It was like Mr. Pibb fucked Orange Crush.
It had orange for sure.
And definitely blue Fanta, but Fanta came on Crush's back. Is that it? OK Soda.
Yeah,
where
nobody's getting
every
pregnant.
analogy's right.
And nobody walked away pregnant.
Nobody walked away pregnant.
But yeah, OK Soda. What a.
It wasn't that, and it wasn't okay.
It wasn't okay, but
No.
I think it was like the most blatant attempt at trying to market
Right.
towards an attitude of young people.
Do you think they were trying to make it great, or did they want people to
They
take a
wanted
sip
it to
and
be
go, it's okay?
I think they wanted it to be okay. I think
No
it was like
soda's
the
ever done
ironic-
that.
Yeah, no, that's what some bored guy got real excited like you are. We're not going for good. We're not going for great. We want them to drink it and be like, meh. You know the meh emoji? It'll be out in 20 years. He knows about it. This guy's prophetic.
Oh, my God.
The meh soda.
Meh soda.
That's what it would be now.
Yeah.
Meh soda.
Maybe it was.
Oh, my God.
Maybe OK had more of a pop. Who
Look.
got fired and said it's meh? He put that on the big board, and they were like, dude, no. And Brian was like, what about OK? Brian, you're promoted. Greg, get the fuck out of here.
I think we could sell
Meh soda?
meh energy drink, meh coffee,
Meh.
meh meal plan. Like it's so
Don't
not,
say it with such a big question mark, Pete. That's a fucking...
it's so like I just saw this thing where it's like if your bed is uncomfortable, you won't sleep as much. And I was like, yeah. And meh food plan.
Yeah.
If your food sucks, you'll lose weight. Meh. Like why can't I lose weight? Hey, shithead. Your food's too fucking good.
tasty, man.
There's gravy,
Get up-
cheese on everything.
I know all these weight plans are like, you can eat 9 chocolate brownies for breakfast.
Not
and
on the
lose-
meh plan. The meh plan, you get fucking steamed Brussels.
It's rice.
We don't
and
even
ketchup.
cut them in half. We're talking a whole head of baby cabbage.
Ever put mustard on your pears? You're about to. Meh.
Oh my God. When there is sauce, it's the wrong sauce
Yeah.
on the wrong food.
They never have the right concoction in the tray.
And you
it's like
will-
Salisbury steak
Yes.
and fucking M&Ms.
And Miracle Whip. And you will lose weight.
Because you'll eat one.
You'll eat the M&Ms.
Yeah,
And then
we
you
got to
throw
take those
it
out.
away.
You
gotta
throw it
take
away.
those out.
Mayonnaise. How did-
Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. Wait, that's what it is. Okay, we have mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Now we have mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
So not only is it pasty white,
God.
it also tastes like nothing.
Yeah, it's maybe a beige color.
A beige color.
It's just not real mayonnaise.
Just lean in and make it taste like
And we get Fabio to do a I can believe it's mayonnaise.
He goes, this is mayonnaise.
And everyone's freaking out because they go,
Fabio.
Fobs is back, and he's starting to believe in the product again.
Yeah, but ever since he got hit in the face with that seagull, he
Thanks
can't
for bringing
taste
that
so
up. I
good.
watch that video once every month.
Do you really?
Just to remind myself how great and hilarious life can be. Boom. Right off the dome, dude. Boom.
Ah!
Here's my
Of
first...
all the people, that story was so close to being Fabio seated next to someone who got hit by a seagull. Fabio on same roller coaster as someone who got hit by a seagull. No.
person get hit by seagull next to Fabio. Yeah, he was gonna be the next line, but he was the opening head. He was the headline.
He's the headline.
He headlined
His
that
agent
story.
was like, look, if a seagull's hitting somebody, it's got to hit Fabio. And that was
Wait, the agent
sort
for
of-
the seagull?
Wasn't, no, the agent for Fabio.
Oh, I thought the agent
agent
hired
for
the
seagull was like, we
to
can't
get
afford
seagulls more
Fabio's
press.
face.
Dude, seagulls have not been talked about since Little Mermaid, and we need to get them back
God.
into the zeitgeist.
Which was
who do we hit?
Don Rickles?
Fabio's on a coaster next week.
Who was the seagull?
Great.
You're great. Why? Who was it? Who was it in?
Not
Little
Ed
Mermaid?
Burns. No.
It was Don.
Candace
It
Cameron
wasn't Don
Bure.
Rickles.
No,
it was. It was something with a B. Buddy Hackett.
God, Thank you.
I
was
mean,
gonna
I
really
watch it
drive
all
me
the time
crazy.
with my
Yeah.
daughter. It's Buddy Hackett. Here's a tweet.
Who's in Pete's Dragon?
I've done. Yeah, there you go.
Did you love that movie more because it was named
Pete's
after?
Dragon?
Yeah.
No, but I don't like when people say, "Don't peter out on me." I'm like, "Fuck you. We peter the fuck up in this bitch."
Thank you.
That's what I say, and I say this bitch and pull it off.
Buddy Hackett. Wait, Buddy
Liquid
Hackett.
death. Isn't it funny to name the essence of life liquid death?
1,000%.
Liquid death should be a can of soot
Yeah.
or a can of. Is this a sponsor?
No, they just have them. I mean, more or less at this. No.
Not really. If
They
you're
always
not
have
getting
them.
bread. It's not
Yeah. Then it's not a sponsor. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna sneeze.
Please.
I'm gonna please. So there are seagulls.
Yeah.
There are beagles.
Yeah.
There are eagles.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are the deagles?
These are the types of thoughts you have on
Where are the
mayonnaise.
eagles?
Where are the
Yes.
eagles?
Look, you know how Snapple had fun facts?
Yeah.
Mayonnaise has shit like that. So
Just
you're
questions.
eating nonsense, and it goes like, well, there's beagles, seagulls, and eagles. We skipped over deagles. And you're like, not only am I eating shit, I have to listen to this. Fucking hell.
Yeah. So you
I
truly.
like that I get to watch this guy editing better episodes of this podcast. Should the curtain go all the way? Nah. Let Pete learn through osmosis. Final cut. This is great. You can't even hear us. This is great. Who does your setup? Because everybody's like, you got to film your podcast.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You don't have to, but somebody's like, you'll like double your numbers.
If I'm having Pete Holmes on the podcast,
You
I
film
want
it.
you film it because
I mean, give him the rubber face.
I love the clips. You know, you're an attractive man and you're
No, I just
animated
mean
and
funny
you're expressive.
animated. Yeah. You're a
You're
good man.
and you're perfect for
The film.
for the sitcom world. Didn't realize how good you
How
look and fit.
We make that a GIF.
Make that a GIF.
Make that a GIF.
See,
I really appreciate it, man. I said to Val today, I was like I don't know why. You know, have you ever noticed you go through, you go like sort of up and down in life? There's like seasons of abundance and
1,000%.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And lately, I've just been sort of like my parents were just in town. That's the whole thing. And then like. I told you I was booking the live podcast and just kind of striking out.
Yeah.
Like everywhere I went, it was just no.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And now that I'm saying this, that's absolutely not true because you just mentioned Austin, which I did the Paramount and it was like sold out. And I was
Amazing.
like, that's incredible.
Yeah, man.
So fuck me.
Yeah.
But I'm also just pointing out how the human brain works. If you decide that it's a time of scarcity,
Yep.
it just is.
Yes.
Even though the facts might be different.
Yeah.
Like all these great things are going on, but you just aren't feeling them. And you're just feeling sort of low. So anyway, this is all coming around to say the sitcom comes out, How We Roll. I'm very pleased with it. I love watching it.
Should be.
I'm trying to promote it. And you text, and I go to come on the pod and promote it.
Yeah.
And I go to Val, I'm just like, first of all, it doesn't take much, right? Kindness doesn't take much. Being a mensch, being a friend.
Yeah.
But, and I'm guilty of it too. I don't do it that often.
Sure.
I was like, Adam Ray always comes through. And you're always pleasant and you're always a delight and you always make me better and you're always so funny. And I really appreciate it. I hope people watch the show.
1,000%. Well,
you.
I you're right. Kindness is so.
It's not hard.
It's not. And also, when I watch something, I like it. I always want to, even people I don't consider friends, I try to go out of my way to go. Everyone who doesn't, is anyone immune to compliments or validation or just a little?
Some people.
Yeah,
are.
You're right. A few people.
One time I told Larry David, big fan, and he went,
That's awesome. You got to have that moment. You just got to give him.
But I didn't like it. I mean, I wasn't mad at him.
Because there is a little bit of
But
like.
what do you say?
You want the reciprocation of like, I gave you like the give and take of, here's a compliment.
And he goes,
let me know you're thankful for the compliment.
Maybe that's selfish on my part. I'm
Maybe.
looking for a moment.
Yeah.
And to your point, he did give me, like the theme should have played. I'm like, hey, big fan. No. I'll tell you a story. No kids vanish in this story.
Thank God.
No kids vanish.
Are there kids in the story?
There's kids in the story.
Great.
So
that's why you said that. I thought you were just giving a weird precursor, almost like the way some pools have no diarrhea on the signs, and you're like, obviously, man.
Well, you know the Sarah Silverman bit. Why not say what you mean? No Jews. That's Sarah's bit. That's not my bit.
Oh,
Sarah Silverman
that's
bit.
Great.
Very
no
funny bit.
Jews.
Maybe you should cut that out.
No.
Maybe it's her bit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That could be the thing that makes people really pack out her next
That's
tour.
true. So go see Sarah Silverman for bits
see?
like that. For a bit, if you like that bit about diarrhea and the IBS community.
The IBS community.
So here's the story. I no kids disappeared. I just don't want anyone listening and being tense.
Yeah,
It's not that kind of story.
Great.
But when you are a parent, you do sometimes lose track of your kids. It happens. Like it's never happened to me for more than 5 seconds. But
I bet that is
it's
that
a long
time
5.
is amplified.
It's a tick,
Oh God.
tick, boom, and then Andrew Garfield walks on and sings
With your kid.
There he is with my child. I thought you died. But every movie there's always a scene in a mall.
Yes.
And the kid's gone.
Yes.
This is kind of one of those stories, but it's not my kid.
Great.
It's my birthday party, which turned out to be not a super spreader event, but it is, I think, where I got COVID.
Oh God.
It was outdoors, but I still got the Coco Maloco. No one else did, because you know why? Everyone already had it.
Great.
So we were just rocking with our cocks.
I love that.
We already had it.
Real quick, do
Yeah.
you like the birthday party? Did you throw
No.
it for yourself?
No.
No. Val did it. Friends did it.
My friend Jamie Lee,
Great.
who's also great.
Love her.
Here's one of her jokes. I just do everyone else's.
Please.
jokes.
That's what this pod is for. Keeps us from burning material.
That's right. Here's other people's jokes. Jamie Lee,
Great
her
comedian.
birthday is right around mine, so she was like, let's have a joint party.
Cool.
I wouldn't have had a party. And then when I was at the party, I was like, this is why. It's not because my friends stink or her
Yeah.
friends stink. It's just because I'm not real. I like a dinner.
Hmm.
If you're going to do a party, do a dinner. At least then you're like eating great food. And
Yeah.
you're really only talking to 2 people then. And you can really shave that down.
Yeah.
This is why I like podcasts. This
Yeah.
is good. If I had to kind of like have an organic moment with everyone,
Yeah.
I'm
Ugh.
just like, shut it down.
Yeah, man.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's mayonnaise. It's total mayonnaise. So thank you for asking. I'm not really crazy about it.
Okay.
Unless you do something like, I did a trampoline party once.
I
for a
love
birthday.
that.
That was great.
Indoors?
Then it's an activity.
Yes.
Or even, I'm not even a sports fan, but go to a ball game. At least there's something
Social.
else.
Something else.
Keeping the ball in the air, not me being like, North Dakota? like, why am I
God.
doing this
No
on my
thanks.
birthday?
No, you shouldn't have to.
South Dakota.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck
The bass
outta here.
clarinet is a tough instrument, Gary. Yeah, fucking. And he's like, it's Ron. You go, well, you look like a Gary.
Yeah,
And now
and
we're
it's my
here.
birthday.
Now we're both disappointed, and it's my birthday. Sorry, you look like Phil Collins. Well, my name's Ron. Well, now we're both bummed.
My daughter this morning said, play a song with drums. And I was like, I got a song for you. In
I
the
love
air
your
tonight.
daughter. Oh, my God. Is she 4 now?
She's almost 4.
Good for you,
Thank
man.
you. My father thought she was almost 3. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah,
At least she was a year off and not like, wouldn't it be bad if he was like, what is she, 45 now? You know, I mean, that's a crazy, jokey answer, but like, you know.
Also, I should give him it's okay. Time flies
Yes.
in his defense.
Totally.
I'm just like, you were close. You were very close. She's almost 4. So I put on In the Air Tonight, and I'm realizing the lyrics are very dark.
Yeah.
If I saw you drowning, I'm just like, don't listen to this. And then I go, Alexa, skip forward 1 minute. And it's still not at the drums. Those
Yikes.
drums come in like deep in the 3rd minute. But when it went, and I've seen you before, my friend, but I don't know if you know who I am. And it's all that. And it's,
Yeah.
and it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's like electronic drums. And then it's, no cymbal at the end of that, Phil. Don't let anyone go like that at the end, even if you're air drumming.
I love that.
Right to the hi-hat.
Too many people are falsely air drumming. And
Don't
adding,
you fucking add a cymbal to Phil Collins's deliberate no cymbal Phil.
Yeah.
Does that sound like the time for a cymbal? Lore says he's accusing someone of letting someone
Yeah.
drown, and he invited them to the show to out them. Is
that
that the time to smash a mini gong? That's a celebratory. Look, a cymbal looks like a celebration.
It does.
This isn't a celebration. This is a confrontation. You get hard hi-hat. 2 cymbals closed on each other, like a labia, like C-3PO's labia. That's what you get.
They're playing Coachella next year, by the way.
Oh, C-3PO's labia?
Yeah.
I mean,
They're real good. And by the way, I just saw you as the world's greatest middle school music teacher.
oh my God. But in the 80s.
Spin-off, dude.
It's got to be the 80s
Of
before
course.
there was any record.
What other
when
time
you could
period
be
am I
like,
trying to put you in?
don't hit that fucking cymbal. Like, I got to
No.
be losing it. Like, worse than J.K. Simmons and
You're
Whiplash.
you're a balance between Mr. Holland's Opus and fucking, Doug Opus. There's a guy named Doug Opus who, like, Mr. Holland was fucking encouraging, and you're a guy who's maybe like
Doug
Mr.
Opus.
Doug Opus meets like Mr. Belding's brother when he came and guest starred a couple episodes of Saved by the Bell and took him on the cool rafting trip. Remember?
Don't remember that.
Yeah, he came in. It was like Doug Belding or something, and everyone was like, "You're way cooler than Mr. Belding."
Mr. Belding, not Mr. Belvedere. I thought it was
Belding.
a crossover.
Great
I
game
think he
show.
said
Belding or Belvedere. So it's his Belding's brother, right? He had a name.
Belding's brother.
Yeah, he comes in and he guest principals for a bit, but then he's way cool. He's got long hair.
It should have
Kelly
been Dennis
Kapowski wants to fuck him.
Haskins.
It should have
Oh,
been.
no.
Yeah,
In a wig. Oh, no.
No, he's the younger brother,
Yeah.
and he wants to take him on a rafting trip, and he gets them all into it, and they do a whole thing, and
He
everyone's like,
dies.
"Oh God,
He should die.
he should die." Fucking Walker, Texas Ranger style. No, he actually just bails. He like meets a chick and like just and Mr. Belding was like, he's gonna disappoint you kids. And Zach's like, you're just jealous, Mr. Belding, because he's fucking way cooler than you and skinnier and his pants fit. I added that, but he said something. Yeah, Zach called a timeout and was like,
should've called
timeout. Belding's jealous that he's fucking over the hill and he's eventually gonna run a karaoke night at Sardo's, you know, and Dennis Haskins. And so the brother bails, and then
Of course he
Belding's like, I fucking told you so.
You know, there's some truth to that. One time I was on the New York City subway, and I'm going to get to that story.
It's right here. Don't
No,
worry.
I
Don't
know.
you worry. I got it.
Yeah, but I'm here too. You take the day off, baby. When you have another it's like a meme when you have another podcaster on. Don't worry, I'll get to it. We both have it.
We got it. We're good at going on these. That's why I love talking to you, man.
I know.
Tangent
Just
City,
go
and we're
for
both
it.
the mayor, and then we always get back to the
Feels
issues at hand.
So nice.
Yeah, I love it.
What were we just saying though? Haskett. Oh,
Doug Opus.
I was on the New York City subway, and you look around, and you can tell who's married.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
no.
Let me put it this way.
Great.
You can tell who's single.
Yep. We'll be right back.
You might not be able to tell who's married,
Uh.
but you can kind of guess that
Okay.
I'm married based on how I'm dressed.
Sure.
Like if I'm dressed like, you know, like I have like motorcycle zips and
Yeah.
like all that accoutrement.
That's not
There's
for
a
you.
Chain wallet. That's why it's so confusing that I think Craig Barron is married. 'Cause
Wow.
He really reads like a rockin' single
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
But he maintained. He made a
Gotcha.
choice to like bleed it into his married life.
Totally.
But I remember noticing that when I first got divorced, I was like, I think I have to start dressing single, more like Haskins' brother. Like you want to look like a cool,
Yeah.
like you want to look like a guy who might disappear during a rafting trip.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is.
And then Dennis, Mr. Belding, he looks like more responsible. So there's a kernel of truth in this episode.
Is there, and we are going to get back to this birthday story. Is there, how much of TV bleeds into you're involved on all levels of how we roll, yeah?
Not really.
Okay.
And that's sort of one of the coolest parts about it. But yeah, go on. I did a little writing.
I could tell.
But I didn't-
Because it's got a Pete Flair.
I didn't. Well, they also let me improvise, which is awesome.
Amazing.
It's so fun. You would love it. We got to get you again. I'm not just saying that. You would be great at it.
I will thrive
It's
in the
so fun.
multicam.
It's
I've done
so
a handful.
Fun. It's so fun.
It is, isn't it?
It's the most fun.
Can I tell you something? What if you were like, no, and then you just left? I go, as I'm watching.
Worse, no, and then my clothes, just empty clothes, land on the chair.
And
Mo
Greg
starts
Barrett shows
crying,
up,
and he
yeah.
goes, "My dad went the same way." And then you go, "Isn't that from Naked Gun?" And he stops editing, and we all go home. Keep editing. You're doing a great job. Poor kind-faced man.
As I'm watching, I go, he's having a blast. That's the first thing I thought of.
Nice.
Isn't that cool?
I am, and look, I am. I'm so excited
Yeah.
to tell you.
Good.
But like so much of show business is, I want to be careful. Everything I've done, I've enjoyed. Let's just say that.
And you've gotten to do it all. By
And
the
I've got
way.
to do a lot.
Host a talk show.
Yeah.
Stand up. Top podcast.
A dramedy,
A dramedy.
like crashing, and now
Bro.
a multicam. I know it's crazy,
Pete,
And
it's
I come
very-
in going, I'm in a period of scarcity. Like, shut the fuck
yeah,
up.
but that's always a little piece of it, and then also it's you're fine with
It's
that.
just the past week. It's
Yes.
just the past week, not my life in general. Absolutely.
And that's what's great, I think, about being a comic too, right? Is like we get conditioned to really be so aware and present with like you're allowing yourself to feel that with this week.
Yes.
Which in a way,
That's our
then-
job.
Yeah,
That's our job, is to be hypersensitive instruments.
Totally. But
But we're noticing like
You're almost setting
like
yourself-
Richter scale notices
Yes.
this. We notice this.
you're almost
Like,
setting
high
yourself up
energy.
for next week to be great by default.
That's funny that you say that, because you have a bad set, you know the next one's going to be great. That's
you.
just how it works.
Yes.
So now it's almost to the point where if I have a bad set, you're almost just like, oh, good, we've pulled the bow back. The tension is there, and now next time I go on stage, I'm going to want it, and the arrow is going to fly real straight.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you think Beverages ever wanted to try to pitch the bow back, which was a backpack for
The bow back. And then Jeff
Got in the way somehow.
Like hung over and just goes, the Jeff pack. And they're like, do it. It's like jet pack, but it's a Jeff pack. And Bo's like, fuck, not again. This is the bow belt all again, over again.
The bow belt.
The bow belt.
Jeff goes, what about the Jeff belt?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, what about the
Nice, man.
Jeff belt?
Always one-upping him. The more
yeah.
famous brother that just came up, hi, Sharks, just a little too...
I didn't even. I'm looking for Wheel of Fortune, man. I thought maybe
Nice.
you do a Jeff belt, I'll do the promo.
Bro, there's got to be room in how we roll for a fucking Lebowski joke of some sort, and you do that.
I wanted, if my hair was a little bit longer, I could have, you know how he puts it up?
Oh, yeah.
At the alley?
Oh, yeah.
I always think about that.
Okay,
I think it's so fun.
I love that movie.
Go ahead.
How much? Okay, I have so many questions. First of all, are you just sitting in a place where you're like, what next? And a multicam is on the radar, or did this kind of come into your world and you go, oh, cool, I'd love to be a part of that. Let me meet with all the
I didn't
creators.
know. This is one of those. I love talking about this because I didn't know how badly I wanted to do a multicam, like for real.
I think I read that headline. It said I think I pulled it up. Actually.
Oh, really?
Here we go.
Oh,
I found myself craving the comfort of a sitcom.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Tony Robbins actually said that, but then it says Pete Holmes feels that.
I found myself craving the comfort of. He picks up a giraffe. I love Tony Robbins. He's just a big man.
He eats animals like sandwiches.
Dream guest for my podcast, but he could nibble a giraffe.
He could nibble a giraffe. I'm fascinated by that guy.
I just love to. You know what sucks about being Tony Robbins? I wonder is you and I probably want the same thing. We just want to hook our hoses. So I have a hose, and I just want to hook it up to him and get some of that.
Yep.
I just want some of that.
Give me some of that go juice.
I know. Yeah, go juice. Those motherfuckers never drink coffee.
No.
The guys that are like, get up and clap your hands and shake the sun. Like those guys are never, you'll never see them sipping an espresso.
No.
They're cold plunging. They're doing.
Yes. He's getting his energy from other sources.
Yeah, from inside.
Yeah.
And it's fucking great. I know
he just has a staring contest with a can of Four Loko and and the can falls over and he goes,
Yes.
I'm ready for the day.
Who's Loco now, bitch? Bites a giraffe.
It needs more mayonnaise. Yeah.
I don't eat mayonnaise. I eat Hooray-nays.
Hooray-nays. I think I dated her in middle school.
Oh, you know Hooray-nays?
Yeah. She got bat mitzvahed by Rabbi Hirsch.
Oh, she's Jewish.
Yeah.
Hooray-nays
Oh, she's got to be. Hooray-nays Schwartz.
Hooray-nays Schwartz. I remember Hooray-nays. Okay, where were we?
So
Tony Robbins.
I found myself
Tony
craving
Robbins.
the comfort of a sitcom.
Yes.
You said I didn't know I wanted to do it.
Well, what it was I was in the pandemic. Sometimes I call it a plandemic as a joke, just to see what people do. It was during the plandemic.
I know, just
Just
a
like
little,
let people
plant the seeds.
like deal
of,
with that. It was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It was during the pandemic, and we were like all West Coast, I don't know what to call it, showbiz folk, sensitive showbiz folk. We were taking it very seriously.
Yeah.
And we were, at that point, rinsing our
Groceries. I know.
and stuff. Like,
yeah.
It was sort of shitty because it leaned into the worst part of me, which is like, I already have a thing that people aren't safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I seem gregarious, but whenever I see you, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
You put me in like a party or a random situation, I'm often like, I don't know about these people.
Sure.
They don't seem safe to me. So then you give me this excuse to avoid people. I'm sort of like, I leaned into it almost too much. I'm like, well, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
Val's like, what about Easter? I'm like, sorry, sweetie.
Yeah, it's off the table.
There's a virus.
Yeah.
But I kind of love it.
You trust that bunny? Yeah. She's like, well, that's a guy in a suit, right? That's what they want you to think. You're like, all right, maybe we should stay inside.
The head is a mask. The head's a mask. No. I don't trust a bunny that lays eggs first and foremost. Wait a minute now. That bunny's laying eggs? I'm pretty sure they fuck like rabbits. They fuck. It's seed and puss. Bunny has a vagina. Hold on. Wait, the guy
Mr. De Niro, the line is, we'll have the tartar.
You tell me you've
Okay.
never seen
He's
bunny
improvising again.
put his stick in
let him go.
a bunny's
Turn the cameras
vagina
on.
and blow.
He'll go for a while.
And blow. That's where they all come from. There's no eggs.
We're getting this, right? Yeah.
You see a bunny
He knows
laying
this is-
an egg, you stomp on that evil creature. That's what I did in Taxi Driver. It's off camera, but it's by my feet.
We'll use that. Yeah. He can be aware that he's a
just
character
referenced another movie
that he's in. He's not playing himself, but we'll edit around that. Yeah.
That is so funny. Anytime De Niro talks, they're like, we'll find a way to use this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Easter off the table.
Oh, yeah. Anyway,
shutting
my
down-
point was I we were on the taking it more serious side. We weren't worrying about it, but I was kind of going like, look, I don't want to see people anyway.
Yes.
So now we won't see people. And then that's not great. And then that's such a human need, is to see people. So while we're locking up, we're watching all these things. We're watching Frasier. We're literally enjoying Cheers. So many great American sitcoms.
Enjoying them maybe even more because, right? I mean, truly, what is distracting you? We're still looking at our phones for updates on certain things and whatever, but
no,
I know I was doing way less.
We were locking in way more because I didn't want updates by the second at that point.
Cool.
And also watching a show from the past, too, just felt like how I felt when I was watching it the first time. You know, it's like time travel.
Yeah.
Like, there's no COVID here.
Yeah.
And it's nice to watch it like
Very
that.
cool, yeah.
So while I'm sure of it, we paused Frasier. I got an email and it was like, there's a script that Mark Gross, who's a very funny comedian, he wrote, and they want you for the lead. They're considering you for the lead. And I was like, this is great. So we stopped what we were doing. It was like 8 o'clock at night, so the baby was asleep. And we went into my office and we read the script together. And I remember saying, just please don't be embarrassing. Because I don't know. I don't say yes to everything. I don't want to sound like Viggo Mortensen, but like
late.
I want
Too late. As soon as you walked in here.
Is there Viggo? How is Viggo Mortensen not in that movie they're promoting right now? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No.
There's a shirtless guy and it's like, fucking
Beowulf?
It's
that was a
like
while
that.
ago.
It's
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
And it looks like Viggo. It doesn't matter.
It should be him.
Viggo turns a lot of shit down, including this Beowulf reboot we can't think of. What I'm saying is that's not me, but I am somewhat choosy. I'll make choices.
I think you, and I don't know if that's your call or your reps' calls, but after you've done what you've done, I feel like you got to be a little strategic, right?
They're good too. My agent in particular, Zach Drucker, is very. He's that big picture guy that's like, we got to think about like.
Need that.
I love it. He's so good. I'm glad I gave him a little shout out, and he'll probably hear this because he's the one that like listens. And
I love that.
I mean, the rest of my team is great too. But
The
Zach
big picture
really great.
thinker is like I know I've got like the goals, the larger than life type goals thing. Like at the end of the day, like 10-year thing, whatever.
I
like
want a giraffe for a sandwich. I want a cold plunge.
I know a guy.
I want to talk to 400,000 people, clapping my hands, tell them to seize the day.
I heard he broke Zoom. I had friends that took his course over the pandemic, and people at Zoom, I think Zoom could only hold 50,000 at a time, and the heads of Zoom expanded it so it could be like 150,000 because people that were taking his seminars.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
I broke Zoom. His head hits his enormous pillow. I broke Zoom today. There's a giraffe in bed with him, and he's like, you're not going to like how this ends.
And it's Danny DeVito voicing the giraffe.
He's so rich. He's so successful. He has barn animals, but he also has celebrities voicing them.
Yeah, in a
live
different
with
room.
Mics.
Oh, yeah. Like
Good morning, Tony. What did he say? I'm not getting his feed. That is good.
wait. That's so funny.
I want the cast of Madagascar in my zoo.
Yes.
I want Ray Romano just to walk myself into the impression. Good morning, yay! Made for Love, season 2. I heard. I don't know if this is true. But somebody told me, he's married to a sex doll.
Yeah.
And I heard on set he was like, I don't know if this is the right move for my career. Like, he was joking.
Oh,
but when
so
you're in bed
funny.
with a sex doll, you're kind of like, is this going to work? Or is everyone going to be like, Ray, with the doll you play?
Oh, my God.
There's other rhymes, but we're not
So
gonna go
good,
there.
man.
Thanks, man. I want Ray on call 24/7 voicing the lion in my... No, he's a woolly mammoth.
Who could he
He's
play?
Ice Age.
Is he a... Yeah, that's right. Is there a...
Stiller is the lion in Madagascar.
Yes. Is there someone that you have is a dream guest star?
And
we'll get back to how the
roll?
show came to be, but on how we roll, like now that we're
Well,
here.
I can really finish. I just said, please don't be embarrassing. I know that's a silly thing to say, but I was like, I really want to do something.
And you guys liked the script.
We loved it.
Great.
We were laughing on every page.
Amazing.
It had heart. It had great characters, and I was like, I want to do this. I called him that day and was like, I'm in. Let's go.
Whoa.
Which was great. We had a great Zoom. We broke Zoom. There were 149,000 other people on the call, but like, I was like, sort of in that quarantine. Like, I was just really craving the show, knowing it would be so fun to be with people.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how right I was. Once I got on set, and it's like, you know, all the directors and the DP.
Well,
and
the ultimate collaboration, right?
It's the ultimate collaboration.
Yeah.
So not to be a snooze fest, but like I'm reading a great book called Tribe, and it's all about human beings were supposed to be nomadic tribes of 50 people. And the great thing about being in a group of 50 is no matter what you're good at, if there's only 49 other people, you are the best at something. So that's one of the great human needs is like
Wow.
being needed is really huge.
Yeah.
And there's a real deficit in being needed because so many of our basic tasks are automated. It's really hard to say. You know what I'm saying? Like the internet takes care of things.
Yes.
Strangers take care of things. You can have someone drive you to the airport you don't know, have someone bring you food you don't know, have someone, whatever it might be. So when you're in a little tribe, you really thrive going like, I am the guy who when there's a snake and everyone else is scared, I go in the bushes and I scare it away or
Right.
whatever. Like whatever it is,
Right.
you will be needed. And when you're on a TV show, it's about 150 people.
Sure.
It's a little bit bigger. But, you know, my circle was probably 50 people. And what it is, it doesn't matter if it's a TV show or if you're at a summer camp putting on a musical or if it doesn't, or if you're just in a startup, you're just making a new product or a service or whatever it might be. If there's a group of human animals pointed in the same direction, it just feels so good. And Crashing, which I loved, was always moving. It was always different people, right? And that's fine, but on How We Roll, it's always the same people. Like every day I was hanging out with Katie Lowe's, my TV wife, getting to know her better and better. As the season goes, we just get so much more and more comfortable with each other. You start feeling like it's a real marriage more and more.
Wow.
Same with Shy, same with Taj, Matt McCarthy, all the people that are in the show, it's a joke. It's a cliche to be like, we feel like friends on the show because we are friends. But you do become friends.
Yeah.
You park in the same spot, you go in the same building, you do the same thing, you have lunch together, you go home, and it's a dream. Literally watching the show is a little bit melancholic for me because I'm like, I can't wait to go back and do more, and hopefully we will go back.
Wow.
But we won't know for a couple weeks, which is why please watch Paramount
Yes.
Plus. Go on Paramount Plus, or as my dad calls it, Paramount. He's like, what's Plus? I'm like, the little T-shaped town. What do you mean Plus? Just I just break down.
Yeah, you do get, there is something, it's not better, it's different. The camaraderie and the, like, I guess the buildup of, like, even just the closeness with the camera guys that you...
Same camera guys.
And I'm
whole
assuming
season.
they have come from the depths of the TV world where
Oh
they've
my
got
God, the
the
whole
original
crew.
Roseanne pilot I did,
Well,
right?
we're on the set. We're on stage 9 at Radford, which is where they shot Seinfeld. So where our living room is where Jerry's apartment was. And I'm not saying, I am saying that there's good juju. There's like just like a
1000%.
good feeling, and I always pause and wonder if my dressing room, because I'm sort of obsessed with Seinfeld. His favorite number is 9. That's one of the reasons why they did 9 seasons of Seinfeld. And I'm in dressing room 9, and I'm like, well, this had to have been his. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's
Yes.
nice to think maybe he was here. And when our lighting guy, I don't know the title, Wayne, he's this little guy with John Lennon glasses. He did all of Seinfeld. So in between takes, just chatting him up. We had so many of the crew worked on so many. Name a show, and you can just go and talk to them about any sitcom.
And see, that's way cooler than like if you were like, and you have to, allow yourself to add that to the whole plate of the meal of the experience, right?
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, if you were like, hey, we're shooting on the same set where they filmed the pilot for Cheaters, and you're like,
Right.
okay, not as much. Probably wouldn't say that out loud
where
again.
a guy was 69, someone he was not engaged to. But the woman he was engaged to did show up, and she was no so pleased. But
Right
he
there.
did finish the
Right there.
69. He continued fighting with a butthole inches from his nose. He completed.
Yeah.
She completed.
Right here.
Then the breakup. Then they went to commercial. None of it back then was blurred. Network TV.
Is this the whole Radford tour? You're the tour guide.
I'll tell you, this is key. Here's why you'll have the energy to talk to Wayne about Seinfeld and I loved wearing 5 hats when I was on, when I did Crashing.
Yeah, you did.
I
Prefer
we had
that?
a beautiful writing staff. No, not at this phase in my life.
Cool.
Maybe I'll do it again at some point, the sort of auteur thing where
Yeah.
it's like you're pouring everything into every letter on every page. But the reason this was such a pleasant experience was because when all you're doing is acting, that only takes maybe 35% of your total effort as a human being. I'm giving it 100% of my effort. But when you're writing, producing, when you're on TV, you're basically co-directing. The directors were great, but you're collaborating with them. I don't want to call it co-directing, but you're collaborating with the directors. The sets, there's scouts, there's casting. There was never a break. So the first thing to go is you shooting the shit with whoever.
Yeah.
I knew the crew and I knew the cast, but I didn't have a lot of energy to just be like, so what are you about? So in between takes, lunch, just go back to my trailer and like lay down.
Yeah.
You're just dead.
Yeah.
Here I knew everybody's name, would have fun. We had bits. It was
awesome.
and that bleeds into the show.
just gonna
That's what
say,
you're saying.
yeah.
When especially as you get going, see episode 5 and 6, you really start seeing like, oh, these people are comfortable with each other. And I could tell you like which lines we're improvising because it's not even like just my sense of humor. I know what will probably make them laugh and having that kind of fun.
Yeah.
But it's also a big part of not having to do everything. Maybe that's not the best way if you're also acting in it.
I mean, there is probably for sure a freedom knowing that all you got to do is be concerned about is with like you and your shit. And
I look at it like a batting cage. And when all I had to do was act, these pitches are coming in and they're pretty slow. I don't know pitching speed.
Yeah.
So I can get, let's say 30 miles an hour.
Sure.
Pretty slow speed, and it's a softball. So it's a joke. It's like you and I deal in jokes. It's a I didn't know they were standing right behind me joke. But we didn't really have that. But let's say it's they're standing right behind me joke. That's a slow pitch baseball.
Yeah.
Slow pitch softball. Then the game becomes, how hard can I hit it? Okay. Maybe the first take you just try and really smash it exactly as it was intended. Take 2, how weird can I hit it? Can I like spin around 360 and hit it up to the ceiling and it bang off and hit me in the head?
Yeah.
Like you're just playing these games of like you get 3, 4 takes. Just how far can I hit it? How hard can I hit it? How weird can I hit it? But never are you like, can I hit it? You're like, I know how to do this.
Yeah.
I know how to tell a joke.
what a fun thing to be living in, by the way, where everything you've done has, which they always say, someone specifically, I think, said it like, maybe it was Steve Martin. Everything you'll use everything. No, was he the one
You'll
that
use everything?
I don't know, like everything that baguette, like everything you've done prior to this moment is all. You're using it all, whether you're aware of it or not. And so you just being comfy in that space to have like 8 different ways to do a joke and not be like, oh, I'm not gonna not be comfy to not trust yourself to land it, but to know, wow, I really have the freedom to play with this. And then because you're just wearing that hat versus a billion, you're allowing yourself to be in that space to really go, man, I'm gonna and then also probably, like you said, being like having the give and take with all your fellow actors who are all great. The cast is so good.
Thanks, man.
Being able to like recognize, I don't know if you guys are saying like, oh, maybe here you could say this or you could do that, or
they were great. I mean, some of the actors I had like Julie White, for example. She's one of Tony. She plays my mom. I love her so much. I was more hands off. Yeah, because I was more like reverent of Julie. Yeah. And I really learned a lot from watching her process. She's like a real. We're all real actors, but I mean, like, she's like a fucking. Come on. She's doing it. Yeah. She's got her backstory. She's got her motivation. Wow. I'm really going like, maybe if I go like this at the end, like, I'm really like thinking like that.
Which is also important, by the way.
I like my way.
Yes.
But I'm learning from her way.
Great.
But like with Katie Lowe's, for example, she came in from Scandal. She plays my wife. She was like, just teach me comedy. Cool. And she did not need to be taught comedy. Yeah. She's just a sweetheart. But like, in between takes.
Here's my diary. Write in it if you want to.
She was really great in that way.
Cool.
Like she was open to any sort of, because you don't want to step on anybody's toes. But you and I are comics, right? If you're saying a line and the joke is liquid death, that should be called liquid life. I'm 98% this stuff, right? If that's your terrible joke, and I know a way for you to say it that I think would be funny based on 20 years of telling jokes. Yeah. Or if you have that and that's my terrible joke, say it. That's how we feel. Like, we're all in the same class. Help me cheat. If you can, we're all on a high wire. Yeah, man. If you can give me a word or a line or tell me to like, I've had Mike Birbiglia tell me what to think while I'm saying a joke. Wow. He's like, when you say that, think this. And it helped. Fucking, this shit is hard. Help. So that's the world that I come from as a comic. I've never been like a watch your competitors squirm.
Yeah, no.
So that's how it was on the set.
It's why Michael Jordan told Kobe, do this, here's something. Like
It's cutting 10 years off your growth process. That's why, dude, don't get me started. There's advice people and there's not advice people. I've really had to kind of I won't say learn it the hard way, but let's just say there are people that I think I've bothered that I gave advice. Because let's say when I was opening for like Jim Gaffigan, I got really lucky. The people that I opened for when I first started, because my friend Dan Kaufman got a gig, he couldn't do it, he gave it to me, and it was opening for Jim Gaffigan at the Cleveland Improv. So it was a huge deal for me. Jim would give me pieces of advice because I was just kind of like floating around, trying to be a good guy, trying to like tell him I'm serious about comedy. And the things he told me, one of them was be undeniable. He's like, look, this business is going to keep passing you over unless you get to the point where you make so much noise they can't ignore you. That's great advice.
Yeah.
And it also is a green light in your psyche. It's like, I'm allowed to aim for undeniability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like almost someone needs to give you the permission. It's almost like telling someone, be fabulous. And you're like, you think I could be fabulous? Right. Like, it's like a little endorsement. So when I would tour around, sometimes I would give my openers advice. And I noticed that I was like, oh, I'm coming off like the drunk dad or something. Like, you don't like this. But I've always been an advice person because like when I did Montreal, people try to do Montreal, young comics try to get in the Montreal Fest. Somebody told me, I forget who it was. It might have been Jordan Carlos. He was like, you need jokes where the whole point of the joke is who you are. And by the way, any comics watching, this is $50,000 worth of free advice.
Oh, yeah.
For real. If you're trying to get into Montreal, you better figure out what you look like, who you are, and how you are goes against how you seem or with how you seem.
Right.
So I got Montreal the year that I was like, I don't have kids, but I kind of feel like I have kids because that's how I felt when I was 20. I still felt like this guy.
Wow.
That was the line that got me Montreal. Jordan Carlos did Montreal. He goes, my name is Jordan Carlos. I'm a preppy black guy. Kills, gets Montreal that year. He did the rest of his set might have been about other stuff, but you better tell them,
yes,
I know who I am, and you better have a joke about it, and you probably should do it up top.
Yeah.
That is priceless.
It's not that it's the elephant in the room, but it's like You
don't have to be like, I know I look like John Lennon if he's doing your taxes. It doesn't have to be like that, but you can
like
be
Brad.
like
Brad does it with Brad does it. When he makes jokes about being a little person, he says to make people comfortable. But like, there's a great example. He goes on stage like you're expecting like, all right, something about it, and then get into whatever you're gonna do.
Right. And you'd be like, I know I look like a personal trainer, or by the way, these are the wrong areas of jokes. It would be better to be I like my example because it's like, I don't have kids, but I look like I have kids, and that goes into
it's a log line for you.
Oh, it's a log line for you.
Yeah,
and you have to think of yourself as a TV show before anyone else is going to think of yourself as a TV show.
Yeah.
And I know it's not really comfortable, or maybe it's icky. I never thought it to be that way. I've always wanted to know myself and know myself quickly, and to be like, I know it's weird that I'm doing comedy. I look like a youth pastor.
Yes.
It's super helpful. And then they go, oh, he's a youth pastor type. He's a dad type. And I get it, but you can make it funny. This stuff makes my wiener kind of soft. It's not very artistic.
Sure.
But it is the business side of it.
It's very cool that you've been able to be in a dark comedy, Crashing, and then the likability factor with you is very high. And I think that bodes well for being on TV in any fashion. With all the things you've done and achieved. And with the sitcom, it's like that truly... You can't get invested in anybody in these scenarios that you feel like that you've seen or you connect with, and also a whole new world and cast of characters and circumstances. And I love the bowling backdrop. I don't know if you bowled before. You definitely look like you have.
Oh, thanks. That's the first. I appreciate that.
But what am I trying to say? It was a real seamless transition, like to go from. Because the styles are different, obviously, with Crashing and sitcom. But I don't feel like you were like, I didn't feel like I was watching someone be truly like, it was just kind of like, we took Pete from here and we put him there.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. It's funny because my character on Crashing was trying to pitch a sitcom called Homeschooled.
Right. Amazing.
So it's almost like sometimes your desires really are like unconscious. And here's what I mean by that is like I made a show, and in the show I'm talking about how I wanted to do a multicam sitcom. But if you had asked me if I wanted to do a multicam sitcom at that point in my life, I would be like, no, that's sort of cheesy. It's like dated or something. But like, first of all, those are the shows I like to watch. And second of all, that's what I thought show business was when I was 15. So like doing it has been so great.
Yeah.
I've said this many times, but to have the kitchen with the door that swings open and close, when you're on that set and there's no ceiling, it's just the lights and there's the cameras and the audience and all that stuff. You're like, this is Full House. This is Family Matters. And like, I think there was part of me that was like, you haven't made it until you're doing a multicam sitcom.
Yeah.
Especially on a network. So I'm so grateful for CBS. It's been so fun.
The network, man.
And you're like, oh, that ticks this box. It really, like a deep box.
Yeah. I think I rented deep box in high school. It was,
You can check it. Go ahead and check it with a red marker. What? What does that mean?
What did you miss? We talked over, we did a pod over the pandemic over Zoom. And I think I asked you, but now I want to know, when you got back to stand-up, because it's been so great seeing you, you truly are just like, and I've told you this before, so it's not a surprise compliment, but like, just so good, man. Oh. And your brain is just, I put you in that category, like, where like Patton, Burr, Dave, there's just one of you.
Oh, thanks.
The way you think, the way your timing, your delivery, your bits, the way your brain works. I when I hear you do anything on stage, I just go, it's coming out.
Oh, it's really
first time.
kind.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's really kind. Yeah, Jay Sankey wrote a book called Zen and the Art of Stand-Up Comedy.
Yeah.
Remember in the early 90s, all the books were called Zen and the Art of something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 55 books.
Zen and the Art of Being a Stepdad. It's probably out there.
Motorcycle Maintenance for sure. And Stepdad for sure. That was the same book, I think. Joy Mode, Boner. We work with Joy Mode. You have the Boner powder.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just take some and see who gets...
A little game called...
It's not Ookie Cookie, but it's like 3 boners hovering around a cookie.
Who can lift the table? Ookie Cookie. Was that like in the same boat as 7 Minutes in Heaven or
No, Ookie Cookie was
that's
to jerk it
onto a cookie and then
the last one to finish.
Dear God, why didn't I put that together? I can't believe I just asked.
Terrible.
What's Ookie Cookie?
It's
hey,
also,
even if you don't even know anything sexual related, assume Ookie Cookie is not somebody dropped a cookie in the milk and it sat too long.
That would be that's like what Ookie Cookie is in like the Smurf village.
Yes.
Oh no, the cookie's been in the milk too long.
Oh God, but then one
That's
Smurf,
all right, it's an Ookie Cookie.
And then there's one Smurf in the corner that goes, "You guys playing Ookie Cookie?" And they go, "Daryl?" And he goes, "When'd you get back?" "I feel like you guys need to learn a couple more things before I left for good." And then the rest of the episode is him telling them what real Ookie Cookie is.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
First of all, I pray to the living God that no one has ever played Ookie Cookie. But if they did, if we're playing a game where there's a cookie, first of all, someone goes and buys a cookie.
Yeah.
That's insane for these purposes.
Yeah, for these purposes. Imagine going to a bakery.
Hi.
What kind of cookies do you have? What's the best cookie to come on? I'm sorry?
I need like a 7 jizzer. And she's like, "Oh, you're playing Ookie Cookie." And she gets the big one.
Oh my God, that's the funny part. Where she goes, "You're the 4th person to come into the."
What?
Well, I should have known. I called it Chisholm Bakery. I don't know. Fuck yeah, the bakery for Ookie Cookie. Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
Show jizz?
Yeah.
Nope.
It's close.
Nothing,
We'll figure it out.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'll text it to you tomorrow afternoon. But okay, so the rules are, it's so gross. Please.
Oh God, yeah.
There's 4. Let's say it's 5 guys. And they have to masturbate. First of all, come on, what are we doing? No, you don't.
What are we
if
doing?
We're like, all right, put the cookie out. We all have to jerk off.
Also,
no, we don't.
Nobody had a deck of Uno. Like, this is the game we're doing.
This is why Uno exists, because the makers of Uno, those beautiful draw 4 bastards, we're like, if we don't make this game,
Ookie Cookie's gonna take over.
People are gonna hook on a bunch of cooks.
Mattel's already looking to make it a board game.
I'm telling you, for real though.
Uno's
games
saved
are because they know when human beings are left without games
with
like
thoughts.
sorry. They're like, let's shit in each other's noses and call it whoopsie.
And whoever can blow their nose first with their T-shirt. We're like, what? Dude, there's no rules in this game.
I don't know the guy who suggests Ookie Cookie, but I feel like I can picture him. And he's like, you got to cook, you got to hook on the cook. And then he goes, the last guy. So the last guy to, forgive me.
Finish on the cookie.
To finish on the cookie, has to eat it. So let's say we're doing it. Guy 1, Trevor. Guy 2, oh, what gross. 3, 4, now I'm the last.
Yeah.
Why finish? I'm just gonna. If I have to eat the cookie, I'm just gonna eat the cookie. I'm not gonna jizz and then eat the cookie. I'm gonna. Okay,
So
guys.
funny.
I'm so sorry. It went
This
this
is
way.
what I'm
But who's
talking
gonna be
about.
like? Not only do I have to eat it, but I gotta finish. At that point, you gotta go. No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No.
That's a very.
Stick up for yourself.
Can I just say,
Builds character.
Ookie Cookie aside,
Yeah.
the revelation of no, I don't.
Yeah.
Is maybe the difference between a child and a grown-up. Like that is what we're talking about. When you cross over the threshold and become a fully grown woman or man, I think can be distilled to some idiot says, we're playing Ookie Cookie. And you go, I am able to walk out a door and just keep walking.
Yeah.
Like I can go to a Denny's. My therapist
It's
would
a
say that.
superpower to overcome peer pressure, right? And whether it's peer pressure or,
Yes.
I don't know, man, FOMO.
Dude, I had a girlfriend who, it's funny, it was the most tumultuous relationship I've had. I look back on it with some funness. I learned a lot. It was
Time helps that,
I
right?
want and I want to be careful not to just be like, what a fucking
Yeah,
rude.
for sure,
But
unless it was.
she would yell at me a lot because I don't fight like that.
Yeah.
So she would yell at me a lot. I wish I had. I fucking wish I had.
Yeah.
You shut the fuck up. Like, how can you imagine?
Yeah,
This
I can't.
This John Denver looking guy.
I can't.
That's enough! I've listened to your shit for so long! You sit down and you listen to me!
On Tonight's How We Roll. That's a teaser.
Then I just go, Rocky Mountain High. She's like, that's a good point. No, but she would yell at me and it wasn't constructive.
Yeah, that's not good.
It was abusive.
Yeah.
And my therapist one day, Ookie Cookie style, was just like, Pete, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, you're a grown man. You have a car. You have a wallet. You have cash. You also have agency. Sometimes you need someone to recognize, like Gaffigan goes, be undeniable. Someone that recognizes your potential and just reminds you you're free to move. So he said, like, when that's happening, when you're just like in a negative shame spiral, when, like I'm saying, it wasn't constructive fighting. It was just mean. It was just like shaming and gross. Leave. He would always say, bounce. He was like, just get up and bounce. He wasn't saying like avoid the issue.
Sure.
But it wasn't like that. It wasn't like, why are you always doing this? Why? Like, you need to grow with me. It wasn't like that. It was just like,
Control what you can control, right?
Leave. Leave. Go eat a sandwich.
Wow.
And this was when things were kind of coming my way, meaning I had a little bit of bread, and he was like, go to a hotel, get a massage, eat a 45-foot hoagie. And he was absolutely right. That's what ultimately led to the end of that relationship, because I realized I was staying because I kind of thought, like, you can't break up with somebody that's mean.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But this is $50,000 worth of free therapy right here. You don't need to convince someone that you're right for wanting to break up with them. You ever have someone that's like, okay, make your case. You can just say, I'm not happy, I want to leave.
Yeah.
And I wish I could scream this from the mountaintops. If they go like, you'll regret this, you just go, you're right, I might regret it, but I'm going to go. Like, you don't engage.
Yeah.
Like, if they go, you're going to regret this, don't be like, no, I won't. You're forgetting the good times, Jim. You have to be like, yeah, maybe I am forgetting the good times, but I'm telling you today, I am not happy and I'd like to move on. And maybe I'll come back hat in hand, but I'm telling you, I don't.
So you say,
think
yeah. So are you saying that if you,
I just went psychopath. I don't fucking things. That's how I was in all my breakups. You're going to regret this.
always a big swig of something.
With liquid death.
Yeah. Are you saying then to be truly like, I mean, don't give extra thought or step away and break down and analyze. Like, if you're feeling it in the moment, like,
Maybe
act on that.
It's not. I'm not saying you don't have to be unthoughtful about it. Here's exactly what I'm saying.
But
And this is
honor
sort of-
your...
honor your truth.
Yeah.
Here's the story. It's a good story. I don't have a lot of good supernatural stories, but this is a good one. I wish I had more because I love them.
Really?
Oh, like if you have any like ghost stories, psychic
Oh,
stories.
my fiance is terrified of when I leave now. She goes, the crazy shit only happens when you leave. And our dog Pickles, a little Cavapoo, 10-pounder, like will just get up in the middle of the night and just bark at the hallway. And she's like, she FaceTimes me. She's like, will you just stay on the phone with me and like while I sleep?
I don't like
Because I'm-
those stories.
Oh, okay.
I don't want that to happen to me.
You're talking about like Ghost Tony Robbins makes a sandwich.
Anybody want a giraffe? Hey man, I'll have a bite of that giraffe. You can have that spot, man.
Put it in my bow bag.
I'll tell. Well, I just talked about this on my own. Chris Parnell did my podcast today.
Wow. Today?
Yeah, it was great. He's
That's
great.
incredible.
Oh wow, good.
You made it weird. One of the greatest podcasts of all time, but you
Oh,
already know that.
thanks.
Go listen to it. And wow, Parnell is a fucking goat, dude.
This guy's using his podcast to promote my podcast. That's an Ubermensch right there.
That's incredible, dude. That was it.
He was
As
great.
good as I wanted
He
to.
was delightful.
Yeah, great.
He's a mensch
Yep.
too. He's super sweet. But he was asking me if I had ever seen a ghost. He doesn't believe in ghosts. And I was like, every time I sleep in my old bed in my mom's house, my dead cat will jump up on the bed every time. But it's completely benign. It's not scary at all. I'm just like, oh, Clem's here.
Yeah.
There's no cats in that house. It's just I feel a cat jump on the bed and
Whoa.
curl up and sleep on me. This one's better though. And I haven't thought about it in a long time.
Please.
That's why I love chatting with you. So this woman who I was very in love with, and then like I forgot, I wish I had written it down, but she said something like that Chris Rock bit, like which team did Malcolm X play for?
Yeah.
She said something that was just a bridge too far, but it was something like, I just think we look at the world differently. And I took a shower, and in the shower I was like, I just realized this isn't going to last. We broke up a year after that. That's on me. I was too, I didn't know. I thought you had to hate somebody to break up with them. So I didn't know. So I started a file. This is in the last 2 months of the relationship. Like by that point, we had probably broken up a couple times and gotten back together and never lasted. So I started a file in my iPhone, which was a list of reasons to break up with this person.
Great.
This is a person thinking, I haven't yet learned that what I've already told you, the punchline.
Yes.
You don't need a case. Your Honor, think about the time we were in that mall and she shamed me. Like that, you don't need that.
Yeah.
You can just say, I'm not happy. That's okay.
That's enough.
But I have this file. Around that time, I was writing on a TV show called Outsourced, and my friend Sunny Lee was like, there's this psychic. She's in Canada, and apparently she's like life-changing psychic. And she does it over the phone. And so we all called this psychic. And I was really excited because everybody was getting these really profound readings from the psychic. So I call her, and I'm just going to jump ahead. I wasn't posting about my relationship on Facebook. I've never done that. I didn't tweet about my relationship. So I'm just preempting some of the questions. When we got to the relationship portion, because you could ask 3 questions, and one of them was about relationships. I'm not going to use her real nickname, but actually, I guess that doesn't really matter. She said, my nickname for my girlfriend at that time was Boog, B-O-O-G. It was short for booger.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like cute. Like
It's cute, yeah.
She called me Boog too. Boogie.
Love
all
it.
that sort of stuff. So we get to but I had never publicly Facebook. Also, this person didn't even know my name. And I certainly wasn't famous or anything like that. And she goes, okay, you want to talk about relationships? And I go, yeah. And she's like, who's Boog? And I'm like, what? You go white. How does she know Boog? This woman in Canada who's telling me all this shit so true about my life. Like way more than facts. Like if I were like, Adam Ray, you're from Houston, Texas. Like who cares? Like she knew Boog. She knew deep, dark feelings, all this stuff. So she goes, this almost looks like love. And then she's like, but it's not quite right. And she goes, I want you to know that there's someone on the other side who's pulling for you to do the right thing. And I knew when she said that she meant a breakup. Because at this point, I just knew it wasn't the right relationship.
Yeah.
So I, like all amazing things, we can still put that out of our mind. So I'm leaving therapy, of all things. I'm leaving therapy where Dr. Gary Penn is telling me, you don't need a list. Stop it with the list. Just end it. If you want to end it, just end it. I'm like, yeah, sure. As I'm talking to him, adding things to the list.
Yeah.
I'm driving home from Brentwood where he was. I'm getting on the 10, and there's traffic, and I think of something else. I'm like, oh yeah, remember that time? It really was. We were at the Grove, and I remember I was waiting for a woman to park, and it was this little old lady. I really felt like that's my mom.
Yeah.
Like it's just like my mom is in a minivan.
Yeah.
She's trying to get out of the spot, and she's taking a while, which is fine. I'm waiting for the spot, and Boog leans over and honks my horn. So like, and it was in a garage, so it was like loud, and like the woman jumped.
God.
I'm just like, and I'm like, oh, there's another reason, like the horn honk at the
Necessary
Grove.
honks, yeah.
You don't do that. I used to have a bit. I was like, that must be what it feels like to have Tourette's. I'm not like when someone else is honking your horn, like you can't stop your horn.
Yes.
And it's not a good feeling, right? So I take my phone out. I open the notes app. Screen goes black. Phone goes black. Reboots. Apple logo. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Phone reboots. Everything's the same. That file is gone. And I was like, holy shit. And I think I broke up with her shortly after that because I was like, stop with the list. But it really felt like, whether or not that's literally true, my feeling was like, oh, there is somebody, and was like, flicked my phone a little bit just to be like, will you stop it?
Stop extending the inevitable. Just
do it. You don't, just because something ends doesn't mean it was a failure. Nobody needs to be ashamed. I was being dishonest. That's what a lot of nice guys don't realize, is if you know you're not right for somebody, you're being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
If you go like, but I should just keep taking it because sometimes there's good times.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, dude. They deserve to be with someone who actually likes them. You deserve to be with someone who actually likes you. Stop only being worried about what it appears. I want to feel like a nice guy who doesn't break people's hearts.
Yeah.
Eat shit.
And I know it's easier said than done. Love that. Just fucking, please make a T-shirt, somebody with just Pete's face on it that says "Eat shit" with a big smile on your face.
Eat shit.
Message is clear, man. Just shit happens is a version of that.
Yeah.
It is easier said than done, but it's also not. Anytime I've said the same thing to friends or even family members at times, unfortunately, where it's like, just fucking choose you, man.
Yeah.
Choose like the grass is greener scenario here, and like. But I get it, man. There's so many. Everyone's got their own set of circumstances and variables that sometimes make it cloudier to just go, let me jump out of the fucking bathtub without a towel.
That's what I mean. Is we're waiting for permission.
Yeah.
Not to be too Tony Robbins, but you're waiting for permission, and that's what I mean. The transition into adulthood is when you realize you can be your own permission.
Yeah.
And you don't need someone to go like
that.
It's okay, Peter. Sometimes nice guys have to say, I don't
Buddy
think
Hackett?
this is working with Sandler. This is Adam Sandler. You're listening to About Last Night podcast.
Nice. Isolate that.
It's not very good.
It's so good to
I'm
be
seeing
here.
him tonight.
Where is he?
He's a guest on Spade and Dana Carvey's live pod at the Wiltern.
Fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
Do you have a dream You've had some of the craziest guests on your pod.
Yeah.
Truly. I mean, Chris Martin, Coldplay is a bonkers one to me.
Yeah, that was bonkers.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean, like, I'm talking about people outside of comedy, which is like
Yeah.
very.
Yeah.
Glenn Hansard is. I mean, that one blew my mind because that's easily in my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, me too.
I love that.
Me too.
Is there someone though that is a true dream?
Yeah,
guest?
get it out there. I really want. We talked about him, Jerome Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We've been
That's gotta happen.
trying.
God, that'd be so
and
good, dude.
George Shapiro, his manager.
Yeah.
I see him occasionally. Very rarely you run into George Shapiro, and he's always like, he loved Crashing, and he's like a fan, and I'm like,
well, then let's go.
Okay, let's go.
You can't get
And,
the doors open.
No, it's a yes. The sign is like, I'll do it, but then it's, you know what this is like.
Doesn't need to do it, right?
Well, no,
Is
it's
that
not.
what's-
It's not that. It's just when works
Gotcha.
for him. And to me, I'm imagining, and we're almost always wrong when we're imagining, but I'm imagining for the mood to strike. You want that like open, spacious, happy mood to match with the time that we ask.
Totally, man.
When those two things happen,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
It happens with me. Somebody will email me, message me on social or something, and be like, my pod only has 4 listeners, but I love you. And you're like, I'll fucking do it
Yes.
right now.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
like that's what you
Yes.
want to happen with Seinfeld.
Yes.
So we're hoping that'll happen. But
God, that would be a great conversation, man. Would
Yeah.
you do a lot of prep for that, or is that just, can you just go off the dome?
I would probably go off the dome, but like, I find that when most people interview him, they're so uncomfortable, and I'm always like, I think he's the kind of guy that, like, if you just kiss his ass, he's not
Shut down.
interested.
No, I 1,000% agree.
I've watched him on a lot of other podcasts, and I'm just like, he'll say something, and I mean in the comic way, where I just want to engage with him.
Great.
And he'll be like, comedy's all about no. It's not about yes, it's about no, or something.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, yes, Mr. Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Thank you. I want to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Sometimes it's about yes.
Totally.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yes, great.
Because that's,
Give him something
we want
to
the
engage
waves
with.
on the beach, not just a wave in the ocean.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the ocean, it just goes up and just goes down. Hit the beach.
Yeah.
And not just kiss his butt too much. But I mean, yeah, him. And, you know, I was driving here and I saw Mike Myers is doing a new show because I tend to be like kind of, it's dismissive to say it's woo-woo, but I'm very interested in spiritual things, and he is too.
Yeah.
And I think that would be really fun.
Phenomenal.
And Jim Carrey for the same reason.
Wow.
I know
Dude,
those
is
are three white men. I just emailed Tiffany Haddish. I'm really hoping
great.
she'll do
Yeah,
it.
that'd be a great one. Too.
Zero reply, Tiff.
Figure it out.
Zero reply.
Out of sight, out of mind too is a real thing. You know, like you'll bump into her at a
Oh my
show
God,
and then game on, and then it'll be,
forget-
you know
Dude,
what I'm saying?
I'm not even mad. That was 100%
Yeah.
a bit. That's just how it is.
I know.
And when we take things personally, my parents were just here. My mom is like, I texted everyone in my Bible study about your show. She doesn't even talk like this. She talks like this. I texted everybody in my Bible study about your show, and no one replied. And I'm like, and so she's mad at them. And I'm like, Mom, they're not even thinking about you. Also, did you say this is my son's show? I'm so proud. Please watch.
Yeah.
Or did you just send a random Facebook link? Because I'm guessing that's what you did with your huge fonted phone. There's no context.
No
The last
context.
text from my dad was, oh my God, I should read it. It's something like, hey, when can I get that autograph from your boy, Sully?
Sully Sullenberger?
You know Sully? And I was
What
like,
other Sully is there?
What is this? What does this mean? And he's like, my friend Sully wants your autograph. And I'm
Oh.
like, so he texted you, you copied it, pasted it to me, and I'm just supposed to. And
it
these are the
together.
types of texts they're
Yeah.
sending.
Wow.
It might as well just be like, how many hamburgers are in a shoe these days? Flip-flops? More like can't stop. Donald Trump. Hello? And I'm supposed to be like, that was you inviting me to Thanksgiving? Yeah.
Oh my
ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Give me real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Who out of the woodworks, whether it's comedian, peer, or pal from the past,
P from the P?
yeah, from that when this show popped, reached out. There was like a special, took kindness into their own hands.
That's
and
nice. Well, I mean, for real.
pretty cool.
Like, I don't say this with bitterness. I'm not mad about it. But there is something interesting that happens when
Totally.
when I did a talk show. I probably that broke in Variety or whatever. You get 150 texts, like literally.
Yeah.
You're in the foxholes with
Yeah.
your buddies,
Yeah.
with your comrades.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're a soldier.
Yeah.
And you got picked to
Yeah.
be a general or
Yeah.
whatever. Everyone texts, and I have screen grabs from that day.
By one of the goats. Didn't Conan produce it, right?
And Conan
Yeah,
produced
come on,
it.
man.
So it was a huge deal. Okay, then I'm joking. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Let's say it was 100.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of texts,
Yeah.
and it means a lot. And then crashing happens, and there's just like, and this is just how it is. Well, it's your second thing. It's not as exciting. So now you get maybe 50 texts. Okay. And then the third, well, it's not even the third thing. There's been movies and other things
Yep.
and deals and whatever. So by the time How We Roll comes around, I think it sounds like I'm mad. I'm not mad. 7 texts, 6 of them work for me.
Yeah. Wow.
You're just like, wow, my publicist is really excited about that show.
Wow.
And you go, am I Tony Stark? We're back to the book Tribe, right? The more successful you get doing anything in this country, the more isolated you become. Because like you just start flying at a higher and higher altitude. And that can be a little, that's why I love going to the store and stuff. It's like that time when there's Sebastian, there's fucking Margaret Cho, there's all these people that are big and they stay connected, and that's how we stay connected.
Yeah.
And I have to like remember to do that and remember to hang.
Yeah.
Because if you do get so swallowed up by your work and just getting the next conquest, who fucking cares? You're
Right.
you're just Microsoft at that point.
Yeah.
And who texts Microsoft, congrats on Windows XP? You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm as big as Microsoft, not nearly, but I'm just like, okay,
Yes.
you are a guy who makes stuff. It's less urgent to tell
You want to share it,
congrats.
and people want to share it with you, I think. But they want to feel like you want to share it with them.
But then when you see, that's true. And then when you see people in real life, you realize, just like my mom, your Bible group isn't thinking about you that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
These comics aren't not happy for you.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem to merit a text
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, and unfortunately there is. I think, I mean, I guess everyone probably has their own level of like that for certain successes, right? Where I mean, I definitely have close friends that I don't think have ever sent me a hell yeah.
Buddy,
But then I
they
know.
don't know we want it. I think that's why it's good to be honest.
But then one of them
about
brought me up on stage at the store and said some nice things. So I go, oh, so he saw that I did this and did that, but didn't.
it. Yes.
And I didn't even take it personally because I just go, you just get to a point where you go, you don't
that's
need
key.
that, and you need and everyone's in their own shit, man.
right.
Everyone's got so
Buddy.
Stop. The sooner you can get out of like, where's my fucking
It's
thanks?
not
You know I'm
about
quite
you.
like
Yeah,
it's not, man.
It's not. It's not personal. It's
No.
not, it's not personal in the bad way. It's not personal in the good
No.
way. It's all okay. And that's what is great about seeing people in real life, because then
Yes.
they almost always do say something funny.
Yes.
I just think,
Assuming is a real.
bitch. But if you are going to assume, why not assume in your favor?
Yeah,
Which is
totally.
what I'm doing, which is like, so a lot of people didn't text.
Assume in your
but
favor.
they're just
It's
kind of
great,
like,
man.
if you're going to guess what reality is,
Yeah.
at least guess
Guess
the
the-
version
guess
that
the right
doesn't
one.
keep you awake at night.
Guess the one where Daryl the Smurf from the outside comes to teach the kids about the Ookie Cookie.
There's one more thing before I go into Gargamel's dungeon.
That's a euphemism.
Oh, up into. I climb up into Gargamel's. Why do we all know exactly what his butthole looked like?
We're going to close this out with a Inside the Actor Studio 10 questionnaire. I'm going to play James Lipton to get to know Pete Holmes, the star of How We Roll, CBS, and Paramount Plus the next day. Watch the show. Pete's terrific.
Actually, Paramount Plus. The
Same
night-
day.
Night up.
The night
As
of,
soon as it's over.
even better.
Even better. Oh, you're so nice.
I love you.
I love you, man.
You made it weird, and the tour. You're.
I don't really have any tour dates, but
Great.
I have a monthly show at Largo.
Oh yeah,
And I do have a live You Made It Weird May 8th at the Avalon here in Hollywood. If this
Great.
airs before.
It will.
Okay, great.
great.
Yeah, that's a live one.
You're. I mean, so good live. So the live pod I can't recommend enough.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
man.
And the
It's
Largo
gonna be
shows
great.
are once a month. Just depends on the day.
Once a month. It's May 20th is the next one.
Great.
And those are always great. The past guests, we've had Amy Schumer and John Mulaney and
Wow. Yeah, star-studded.
Judd Apatow. It's been great. And the music, I'm not a huge music person, but people tell me the people we have on the show are huge.
For real? You don't book the musicians, but you.
No, I don't even book the entire show. Sandler did it recently.
Amazing.
It's been really, really special. But even when it's not huge names, that room is so great.
Yeah.
And it's always the highlight of my month.
I
for
saw
real.
Larry and Garland do a Curb chat there once on maybe like the season 6 of Curb or whatever. It was great.
Yeah.
The intimacy of it feels really cool. Yeah.
My perfect venue. I love it.
All right. I'm going to play James Lipton. We're going to get to know Pete a little bit better. Here we go. I'm here with Pete Holmes. Pete, what is your favorite word?
Ooh. Huh. I'll be corny and I'll say grace. I love the word grace.
What is your least favorite word?
I want to say queef, but I don't really mind queef that much.
Yeah.
I'll go with queef.
It's your least favorite. Why?
It's so nasty.
It is.
Queef.
I did it on stage as Dr. Phil. I was in full prosthetic at the Laugh Factory, and I go, I'm just working out some jokes here. I got a couple of bits I'm trying to work out. First one I said is, so masks, right? We don't have to do those on planes anymore, so hell yeah. And but I'm still going to wear mine so I don't have to swallow someone's queef. And half people laughed, and I go, all right, so maybe I could do that one again. That was good. This next one is just random.
God.
Yeah, but you're right. Queef is a
swallow someone
yeah bad.
else's
I know
queef.
on a plane too.
My Netflix password.
It's my Netflix
All caps.
password.
Swallow someone else's. I'll say queef.
What turns you on, Pete? Sexual or not sexual?
What turns me on
Yeah.
is validating someone else's existence and them validating mine.
I love that.
Reciprocally.
I love that.
It's what we did today.
Yeah. What turns you off?
Being misunderstood or not being heard really bothers me. So if the CIA wanted to break me, they'd put me in like a Black Mirror where it's like, we understand you, Paul. You asked for a turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
No! Like,
God, that's my worst fear.
Yeah.
What is your favorite curse word, Pete Holmes?
Wow, this is so great. If I had known you were doing this, I would have planned it.
No, it's better to
for
not plan.
months.
No way.
Well, everyone says fuck. I do love fuck. I like to say my own, which is a phrase.
Great.
And I say it all the time, and it's shit on a dick.
Great.
It just comes out.
It's awesome.
Something goes wrong, I go, shit on a dick.
Yeah. It's
I don't even...
There's a good phonetic. It's like it's really...
Sort of rhymes.
Yeah, it's so close to like fish on a stick or like
Yes.
like an ice cream man being like, we got the ice cream sandwich, we got the
Shit on a dick.
we got shit on a dick. Yeah, it's 50 cents today because it's hotter out.
Sounds like
Yeah.
something with oysters in Long Island. Oh, you want to shit on a dick? All right. Tommy!
What sound or noise do you love?
I mean, my daughter's laughter. You can't. There's certain things. I know the bits to do now to get it. And
That's awesome, man.
It's like, like the drug ecstasy. It feels like that.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Sorry, Pop. My dad, when he cuts a meal, like if he has a steak in front of him and he cuts it, he goes... like he inhales like a wet inhale.
Oh, God.
I've never told you that, Pop. I hope you don't see that. But it's I wouldn't say I hate it, but I will say it makes me go like...
Yeah, a little cringy. Yeah, just think that noise. Don't say it out loud.
Yes.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt, Pete?
I think it would be fun to be a therapist only to tell people what my therapist told me, which is that they're okay. That seems like, I know that there's like heavy cases, complicated cases, like rooms you don't want to go in. They're too complicated. It's like Inception. But there's a lot of just ham and egg people like you, me, and Mo, I'm guessing, that are just kind of like, everybody has the same problems.
Yep.
It's like, oh, you think things you don't like to think. You're ashamed. You have sex shame. You think if people knew who you really were, they wouldn't love you. You're embarrassed. You feel like you have to earn your merit. You can't shut your brain off. All this stuff. It's the same fucking shit. And it seems like a good deed to just professionally tell people, like, you're beautiful. It's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Relax. And the way that humans work, when someone tells you that, you actually, it like heals you. It heals you to say, Adam, you're okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
That seems like a good job.
I love that. What profession would you not like to do?
I wouldn't want to be a vet. I don't want to put a long plastic thing and shove my hand up a cow. I don't want to do that. I also, you know what I think about all the time? I don't eat meat, but like, look, for real, people who work in like slaughterhouses and stuff, like my heart breaks for every part of that. Like, it's just, somebody's got to do it, right?
Fuck.
And I'm
guess.
like, that's. I'm separating the animal suffering and just saying like, that's got to be hard.
No one's doing that for the love of the game.
Right. That's unless you are. I don't know, but like, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
So many things come from things that we don't want to think about, and that's one of them.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I was there the whole time.
Pete Holmes, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful answer. You're the man. I love you. You're a treat and a half.
I love you too.
You're the king size of every good time.
I really appreciate it. Can I tell you something?
Please.
So there's this great technique, Mo. Try it tonight. I saw it. I'm not embarrassed, on a YouTube. A monk was talking about sleeping, and it's really changed my life. And he says at night when you're going to bed, he has like 5 tips, but the last tip is the best tip. At night when you're going to bed, he says, sleep in a sea of merit, and that means think of the good things you did today. And first of all, it makes you fall asleep right away. Usually you're thinking about the next day, what you did wrong.
Yeah.
So the tip is, think of the little things you did well today. For me, it's usually like, oh, I gave that valet $10, or I treated that person to lunch, or I told Adam I love you and I really appreciate it. Little things like that. I remembered Mo's name.
Yes.
I was nice to Mo. I gave that guy shit and he's crying in his car right now. You know what I mean?
But he can afford a car.
There you go. But like not only does it help you sleep, and when you wake up, you kind of spring out of bed because you went to bed positive, you wake up positive. That's just how it works. But then it also like makes you want to do good things for this very selfish reason, which it'll help you sleep. Like being kind will help you sleep.
The ultimate give and take.
So I just want to say it's great letting people cut you off in traffic, waving at somebody. Somebody gave me the stink eye, a guy on a bike, and I gave him a big smile and like sent him love. I was like, these are these little good deeds, and they add up, and they will literally help you sleep.
Wow.
It's great.
Great.
Tell everybody.
Yeah, that's.
Sleep in a sea of merit.
I can always use more sleep tips, man. And just
none of us are talking about it.
And how to wake up ready for the day, like
exactly
without that.
Well, he says what you fall asleep thinking about is the state you fall asleep in is the state you wake up in. And I can attest it's completely true. So I just wanted to sneak that in there.
How do you think Tony wakes up? Robbins, not Montagnier or Dan.
He just wakes up. He asks his assistant to throw a bucket of cold electric eels on him.
Maybe.
He's like, fuck you! And he just gets
You thought
up
I wouldn't eat them?
and
Yeah.
seizes the day. Oh man, T-Robs, do this podcast and we'll both interview.
Dude, that's
Be
it.
great.
Talk
He
about
changed my life.
Really?
We joke, we kid a lot on this podcast.
Yeah.
But he changed my life. One of them is affirmations. Like I do that.
Yeah.
He's a big like
You're great
go
with
on a
that.
hike and go like I love my
Yeah.
life. I love my life. It's
Wow.
crazy. But this is why advertising works. So use it to your advantage.
Speaking of advertising, How We Roll, CBS,
9:30.
9:30. Yep, right here.
Oh, I know. I want to be in your camera. Yeah, 9:30. Please watch. I love it.
You're
And
brilliant.
it
It's a
gets
great
better-
show,
it gets better
man.
as it goes too.
It's a really sweet comedy, and there's a lot of comedy. The jokes per minute are awesome.
Thanks,
and that's
man.
big with any multicam. You
That's
go,
Mark Gross and Tommy John.
Crushed
Again,
it.
great staff. Yeah.
crushed it. Tommy John,
Yeah, Tommy John.
amazing.
Yeah, and it really does just get better and better and better.
I can't wait.
Man, thank you for
Yes.
that. Can't wait to get a pickup. Let's go.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Zoa. Thanks, Rock. Guys, Adam Ray here for the About Last Night podcast. Hope you enjoyed that episode. It was a good one. A lot of laughs, a lot of tears, a lot of stuff to think about and chew on, huh? Because that's what life's all about, chewing on the good stuff. Nobody said that. Maybe Denzel did. Maybe Tom Hanks did. Maybe they said it together in Philadelphia. The point is, click subscribe right here on the ALN logo so you can get more episodes and stay up to date when new content drops. Highlights, animations, clips. It's all here for you, baby. I'll see you next time. Whoop, I don't know how to blink.